I'm playing it nice, normal on display. So gentle and calm, that's what they say. Yeah. Inside, try to tame a storm. But every look from you makes it hard to control. And shadows awake when darkness falls. I'll show the flame I got inside the walls. Between us fade, drag you far from time and space. To my world, wild and so dangerous. Myself untamed. Let's test the limits, 'cause my secret's out. Everything that's wrong suddenly feels right. Let me come closer, I'll show you.
Not giving a chance for the Yif to be sprayed.
Teleporting back here, making sure this rescue does not happen for free. And now Universal, he's gonna try to go for this rescue. Oh no, but kind of just messes up a bit there, and he is gonna get hit here through the pallet. Blink is a thing. Actually, he's in the locker, so Killer Bell's unable to leech immediately.
Bubbles pops already. Takes a safe bolt. Blink in 5 seconds. So we'll see what happens now.
Unfortunate there, missed timing.
Going to be a safe rescue as first officer goes in the basement, not really giving a double hit as Gardner just tried to run out of the basement. He's trying to go for the double down for FO here. FO doesn't really
on this group, we're actually rotating into this into the psychologist, and an early hit without any tricking at this spot.
I think some harassment needs to be happening, forcing out the second shovel out of Gravekeeper. Gravekeeper already have no items after one single rescue. He might honestly just switch to Blink. Yeah, there it is, and misses a hit, but I don't think Gravekeeper is getting out of this one.
And it seems like he's going to be dropping him at mid, making sure that... Oh wait, is that actually because the fact that he's missing 2 dashes at this point, it's not something that you want, especially in the early game. Stitch is going to get the pallet stun, but for Dreamer, he's hoping to make a dream here for the side of GSL, but a miss. Oh, exactly you want, but red ball could be very crucial here. He needs to get this red ball. He does manage to get the primed already. Yeah, they're double priming it. I'm not entirely sure why. I feel like they should just pop one so they can have another one just go to the gate, but maybe they're a bit confused as if he's going to be able to open this gate with gun also. It's going to be just impossible to make any use of this. Fluff and Paper Moon probably at least going to get a single escape, but with that
there's a psychopath. Wait, I got the drop down hit. Yes, we will see Farah. Oh, looks like he got a little stuck. Little delay of the 5. Oh, the flare. Oh, lucky. I never saw him even pick that up. He's already made his way over to the other side. So, I can't see. Oh, and it was a 3 point. I think he does have that helper. Yes, and we see it moves too. Oh, he almost hovered right in. We're playing around with the palette right there, and Hunter does not have Blink. So, and find some archer. Oh, wait, no. Cypher. Yeah, it does look like they've opened too. Oh, beautiful. The body block coming in. Oh, no. Oh, there's no one at middle before teleporting. Oh, amazing. Oh! It's gonna be a one-man, I believe. Wow.
We're gonna be seeing her go back through, unfortunately getting that pallet, but it doesn't matter because you placed the pallet.
Go back down. Flywheel is available, so, and the pallet's not broken yet, so this might be able to just flywheel, but this is a black cage. Yeah, it seems like he's just waiting for First Officer Pocket Wash to go out, and it does. First.
Yeah, and it does look like we are gonna be seeing our first officer hiding here, trying to stay out of vision of that Goatman, no items, half health. Really looking rough for our survivors here.
I think Goatman plays really well, as we've been discussing. This is not an easy match for Goatman, but he never really missed anything. Can't really afford to double down there. Just need one more bomb, the journalist, and the Hula does get it. Here, he's just holding the bomb, finally using it, forced out warp to escape the third bomb. Wolf should be able to get him, but he gets hit. Enchantress having almost a second stack already. Gets a chance for a hit, but oh no, a terror shock. That was. I think they're just aiming for the after, cause that's what survivors want. But you know, a blink force out the early rescue, and Perfumer Elfio already gone if Billy is able to find the mercenary quickly, which they are very close right now, but just skipped past him.
For a double rescue here, which is really good, especially against the Leo that's able to collapse.
Leo can't really afford to just throw a puppet out to chase the Gravekeeper. He is a camping hunter, he needs to camp, but he unfortunately gives a free rescue. Pete Painter just sneaking in while he's just breaking pallets, and now he...
Support. We should be able to get this rescue out to we can have another team ready. Leo avoid.
Unfortunately did not see what the Painter not giving him a chance to use the borrow time speed up to get away, but it does come. Painter does get down flywheel. I think if the Leo plays it well, he shouldn't be able to get the rescue. Yeah, attempted pounce done there, but an immediate hit followed by the from the warp gate hit and a chip as well. What the tension is going to run out. She has to make this chip, but a flywheel is available for Edgebarian. She doesn't make it, but a body block from the airplane is
unfortunately. Those hits, getting a chip here, so only one more chip. And before people will try to see
a stuff from the lucky guy in the second.
First present due to influence, and it does look like we are going to be seeing 100 experience with both the main body and the gift. We still have we're not Witches last night and Downton, I think Force of Time here, and but the Ivy is right behind him here. So we possibly could be seeing that 4K of Ivy. We'll be getting. Doesn't get a kite tonight. Yeah, there's no power there, so it'll be just better. And to block out some angles to rescue from the chair, but it looks like our meteorologist is going to get the rescue and use the wind to push Mad Eyes using one of her guards to stun the Mad Eyes and allow for Doctor to transition into the hospital. Now Journalist did go ahead and heal herself with that syringe, but it looks like Doctor is going to go ahead and do the same. Oh my goodness. Unfortunately isn't. Thank you. Sorry. So it seems the first officer now, and the professor is still in the area. Great house done. And we are having progress on our other two. And first officer. So we're gonna see first officer push for dungeon. It's getting really close. First officer has no watch to work with, but oh my goodness. This is so nerve-wracking.
It is. Oh my gosh, no! Prospector. He just really needs to be careful here because he is one chip away from getting down. Oh, but he's gonna use a second madness to push the hunter away. Oh, and we're gonna see a blink. Oh my goodness.
He does get the rescue off.
Oh
no.
This is the and
Beautiful
use that
flag.
Yes. Oh, great action left to work with for this peddler. This could be good for the Aeroplanist, who is going to utilize the jetpack to get away. Oh my gosh!
Run it.
The Hullabaloo jumps, closing that distance, utilizing the clone, and then getting the lucky dive now. It does seem like we are gonna see. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I think that's sure coming to be. So there is some leeway to be able to try and rescue him, but oh, we are going to see the Embalmer get to half health. As we're not gonna take us down. Oh my goodness.
Not giving a chance for the Yift to be sprayed.
Teleporting back here, making sure to rescue does not happen for free, and now Universal, he's gonna try to go for this rescue. Oh no, but kind of just messes up a bit there, and he is gonna get hit here through the pallet. Blink is a thing. Actually, he's in the locker, so Killer Bell's unable to leech immediately.
Bubbles pops already. Takes a safe bolt. Blink in 5 seconds, so we'll see what happens now.
Unfortunate there, missed timing.
Going to be a safe rescue as first officer goes in the basement, not really giving a double hit as Gardner just tried to run out of the basement. He's trying to go for the double down for FO here. FO doesn't really
On this group, they're actually rotating into this into the psychologist, and an early hit without any trigger hit as well.
I think some harassment needs to be happening, forcing out the second shovel out of Gravekeeper. Gravekeeper already have no items after one single rescue. He might honestly just switch to Blink. Yeah, there it is, and misses a hit, but I don't think Gravekeeper is getting out of this one.
And it seems like he's going to be dropping him at the mid, making sure that... Oh wait, is that actually plus... The fact that he's missing 2 dashes at this point, it's not something that you want, especially in the early game. Stitch is going to get the pallets done, but it's for Dreamer. He's hoping to make a dream here for the side of GSL, but a miss! Oh, exactly you want, but red ball could be very crucial here. He needs to get this red ball. He does manage to get the prime already. Yeah, they're double priming it. I'm not entirely sure why. I feel like they should just pop one so they can have another one just go to the gate, but maybe they're a bit confused as if he's going to be able to open this gate with gun also. It's going to be just impossible to make any use of this. Fluff and Paper Moon probably at least going to get a single escape, but with that,
There's a Cypher Pop. Wait, I got the drop down hit. Yes, we will see Pharaoh. Oh, looks like he got a little stuck. Little delay of the 5. Oh, the flare. Oh, lucky. I never saw him even pick that up. Is already made his way over to the other side. So I can't see. Oh, and it was a great one. I think he goes past that and fell through. Yes, and we see it moves too. Oh, he almost hovered right in. Basically, we're playing around with the pallet right there, and Hunter does not have Blink. So, find some archer. Oh, misses. Wait, what? Cypher. Yeah, it does look like they've opened too. Oh, beautiful. The body block coming in.
Do the work.
sick.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to our third week of logging off league. I think we're on week 3. But hello, I am Bones, returning from my somewhat hiatus of commentary, and I'm joined with S'mores today. How are we doing?
Yes, indeed, it is the third week of Hello League. Just had to double check there, but yeah, I mean, third week. We are now down to the, I believe, final 4 teams here for LO League, and we're getting closer and closer to an eventual conclusion of this tournament. But before that, it's time to introduce like our first semifinals matchup here. NBZ versus CH4, 2 teams that have been doing extremely well in this tournament, but only one can make it to the final. So the big question here for tonight or today, depending on where you're watching, is that which one of these teams is going to take the cake?
I think it's definitely up in the air. We have both of these teams are so formidable and such strong performances that we've had over the past couple of weeks. Obviously, they've worked very hard to be here, and these are also 2 more veteran teams that we're seeing. CH4 has been around for literally as long as I can remember. And MBZ is a newer formed team, but we've got Mushin as their hunter, obviously a very well-known face in the NAAU scene, and a lot of their survivors as well are from other teams that have sort of made their mark on the NAAU scene. So yeah, really exciting and always, so much fun and such an honor to be able to commentate for such, heavy hitter teams. It's always a treat to commentate in general, but it's also just so much fun to really see these teams who can kind of bring all that they have to the table.
Agreed. And I guess we should backtrack a bit there. Let's like just talking about the teams. I feel like so interesting, CH4, the way they have been going about this tournament. I was a bit concerned that, this team kind of just shows up every now and then. So I was worried about their performance. But the fact that they've made it this far has been nothing short of impressive. And I think that's just good stuff on both the Hunter and the Survivor ends. We've already knew how strong this team could be, especially with their previous performances when they were a bit more active. But seeing how they're managing to do this, it does feel as if like even now CH4 still remains to be an incredibly strong contender here in the NAEU scene. And I do
Absolutely.
think against NBZ, which has some pretty strong hitters, you mentioned Mushin in this team, right? Um,
Hmm.
I do think they're going to be needing each and every inch of that kind of experience that they've gotten over the years here to try and topple them over as a team. And especially as I believe we're going to be heading into as Lakeside Village, if I am not wrong.
Yep.
I think that it's going to be very interesting to see what CH4 has here in store, especially since, NBZ has some really strong players that we have seen compete before, but CH4 is one of those OGs.
Yeah, they've been around forever. They know, so much about this game. And that's really what I'm looking forward to see is like when you have two teams that are just so strong and so like they know things, they've been in this scene for so long. It really comes down to how each of these teams can play through the game and maximize their knowledge in order to counter each other. But yeah, we do have that Lakeside pick here coming up first. Map bands are Darkwoods and Moonlit, and our first two survivor bands, I believe that is coming from the side of NBZ, who will be hunting first. We've got Magician and Seer taken off the table.
Yeah, Enchantress and Mechanic are going to be the first two selections here from the side of CH4. I do want to note Magician ban, I'm a bit surprised. I mean, we do know that Magician pretty solid, especially against something like a Goatman, but I just don't think it's the ban priority in most cases, especially since you want to just be flexible with your picks. The CH4 recognizing that maybe that Goatman is very much available does decide to pick Mechanic, which can be a problem character for them since you do need a bit more resentment to just try and down that ball or at least try to check them twice. Puppeteer is going to be the third ban here and Antiquarian immediately prioritized from the side of CH4.
Yeah, really taking all of these single hit counters off of the table. I feel like the strategy here with banning sort of these like lower priority characters like Magician is to force CH4 to bringing out that Mechanic, bringing out the Antiquarian. We are in the updated system with 4 global bans, so we're not going to see any of these survivors in future rounds. So I would say Mushin here probably playing the long game and looking to take some of these more kind of like stronger survivors off the table naturally instead of having to waste ban slots on them later on.
Agreed. And, I do think that with the Gravekeeper, I believe that is banned here. I'm not entirely sure what's on the screen anymore, but um, with a Gravekeeper ban, I do think that the Rescuer here in, the side of CH4 needs to be prioritized because right now they are lacking in that department, and that is something that they may want to consider attempting to fix.
Yeah, I'm honestly very I think that my main question here is if we're even going to pick a rescuer at all to okay, we're gonna go with the coordinator for that final selection. So not quite having a rescuer but coordinator with that gun can definitely guarantee a selection there. But oh, okay. Looks like we are going to see the Shadow Ivy as our first hunter coming out. Definitely, I would say a bit of a risk on Lakeside, just because of the size of it and how far the survivors can really spread themselves out. But definitely not a bad map pick at all. And with the selection taken off the table, I feel like we're up for a pretty even matchup here for our first half.
Yeah, seemingly I've been seeing a lot of teams get really comfortable picking the Ivy here in Lakeside Village. And we have seen some pretty decent results. I believe last week it was Pit Stoppers taking the 4K in this map up against Team GSL. So definitely it's very possible to play Ivy in a map like this. And this composition doesn't really provide a lot of problems, albeit you may want to bring just a bit of stun resist here, especially since there are three characters that can stun you. We are going to be seeing its Ivy spawning right beside this Antiquary and Coordinator. Do think both are very available to chase, may even consider chasing the Enchantress here. But yeah, I mean, a lot of options here for Ivy to go for. And we are going to be heading round one first half semifinals here at day number 5 of the logging off league number 4.
Yep, and I am Bones here with S'mores today. Best of luck to both teams as we head into our round one first half. We've got that crossover loading screen that always takes longer than usual.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not used to it, to be honest, but we are going to be seeing it's going to be Ivy looking as if he might be eyeing perhaps for the Antiquarian here. However, main body is also moving towards Enchantress, so seemingly both options available, but it's going to be Antiquarian first, immediate reach and scare there just to get the early 60% suspicion.
Yeah, nicely done with that sandwich. Antiquarian still making use of this area. We've got the Yith heading towards the center to put some pressure on the decoding early on. Really good multitasking here. 2 ciphers have been started, and yet we are going to try and pressure the Enchantress off. It looks like she's just going to go ahead and stay on that cipher, not really worrying too much about the stacks. But yeah, just continuing the chase on Antiquarian. Oh, we are going to get that 100 corruption. Looking for a second scare as well before we get that first hit. So nicely done with that 44 stack still remaining on the Antiquarian.
Yeah, and the positioning of this lead shredder has been very amazing from the side of the Shadow here, and we are going to be seeing, I believe that's 100, but a miss there. Antiquarian doing a good job, but Blink
Ooh.
is going to be coming out, so that is going to be a down regardless here. And the ciphers do not look stellar right now, especially since he's going to be just pressuring them here just a bit more. We are going to see his first share here for Antiquarian. And luckily for the survivors, this mechanic might just be a bit of a problem and might just give them additional decoding speed. But for now, definitely a bit of a back foot here.
Yeah, Mechanic being on the team right now that might just be their saving grace in this situation because, yeah, not a lot of decoding is able to be done right now. We do have, it looks like, Enchantress in the area, going to go for that rescue, barely getting there on time. We've got 84 stacks, but she did get that rescue very nicely. Looking for Antiquarian again here. And yep, we're just going to go ahead and get that basic hit. Antiquarian not able to get that flywheel out of the way.
Yeah, Enchantress actually went 100 corruption, and there might have been a chance for Ling to try and go for the TP, but luckily, seems as if he's not going to be able to get the timing just in time there. And he is actually going to be going for Ling. Does use flywheel, so avoids the 100 corruption here, managing to just live a bit longer. It doesn't seem as if they're going to be going for a rescue at all, though. It seems as if they want to be preserving the 2 tides here from the side of both Coordinator and Mechanic. And we are going to see, I think that is the first elimination here, Antiquarian. Going to be sent back to the manor as the survivors. Going to be trying to rotate here. Actually, we do see Mechanic Doll is actually going to be the next chase here from the side of Ivy.
Yep, and that doll is just going to go straight down. Nothing to work with there, and unfortunately not able to get to the vault point in the boat. Mechanic has now been sniffed out by the shore, and it looks like we might be continuing that chase, but no, actually opting to go back to the middle here onto Enchantress, kind of keeping pressure on both these areas, doing a very good job of slowing down the cipher progress and keeping that map control up.
Yeah, now he's just chasing Enchantress, and Mechanic does not want to go away from his position, but the problem is that actually only means that one survivor is decoding at this very instance. Ivy can just kind of wait here until Blink is up, or he can bring back this loot here. That does mean that Mechanic is free to walk now, but this Enchantress is going to be instantly going down.
Yep, she does have a stun for when she gets off chair, so that could definitely be of use if we are able to get this rescue. Ciphers are looking okay. The problem is that, you know, if we're working with audience effect here, that does give a slight decoding boost. Well, not anymore because we're past 4 ciphers. But even so, now the question is Mechanic going to be able to get to all of these ciphers across the map and pop all of them before the rest of the team goes down? And we're just gonna have to see if that's the case. Coordinator coming in for the rescue? Yep, Coordinator coming in for the rescue here.
Does have a gun to use here, but just gonna instantly hit Coordinator and seemingly doesn't need to be using the gun just yet. 3 stacks here for this Enchantress to use, but that 100 suspicion is not gonna do him dividends. Enchantress gonna be popping the last effort, but this actually might be able to spare additional time if Mechanic might be able to pop her Cypher here right on time and be able to maybe go for the second rescue. So seemingly it does seem as if that is gonna be the case. Coordinator gonna be unable to get reached here, so actually Ivy can't pressure these ciphers just yet. He cannot stop this Coordinator from finishing the cipher that he's on, and now his only winning condition is to maybe, just maybe, try to get the down before the ciphers are popped. But with Tide Turner, that might just be not so easy from the side of the Hunter.
Yeah, yep, we got that Tide Turner active, Mechanic on the move. She is going to go down after Tide. Enchantress still has that 3 stack, but not in a position where she needs to use it just yet. We're looking for Coordinator again, and we are going to get, 98 stacks! The gun is still active!
Yeah, that is good stuff here for the Court. Blink!
That was almost a flywheel predict, but not quite.
Yeah, I mean, this Hunter just knows that he needs to make sure the Cypher does not get decoded at all. And so he's just making sure he reaches Enchantress here, make sure there is a Ostracon on this chair, and now he's actually going to be sharing Mechanic, but I'm not sure if this is necessarily a right play. They can try going for the 1 escape, but considering the fact that you can't reach Coordinator yet, Yifian is a bit far off, they're actually going to be able to get this rescue here. So now a chance here maybe for CH4 to try and make things happen. You do have a 3 stack still from this side of this Enchantress, and seemingly it's going to be used here. Yifian the Enchantress rather, is trying to make his way towards this chair, and he is going to be switching to this Coordinator, but I think that's a free rescue from the side of the survivors.
Yeah, it's a free rescue, but playing musical chairs right now without getting that cipher popped is going to be a bigger and bigger problem, especially as Coordinator now has been chaired right on top of that cipher. It's not quite primed. We're still at 87%. So yeah, not exactly something that we'll be able to pop immediately. We do have Enchantress trying to pressure it. It's now up to 90, but it's
wait, they're gonna try to force this, I think. They tried a gun!
Oh no! Oh! And that's just the unfortunate thing that happens when you save your gun for 90% of the match, and there happens to be a wall in the way.
Yeah, they tried to. I think that was a really good play, but they just were just positioned way off there, could not go for the gunplay. And unfortunately gonna be going down here. And now I wonder, are they gonna try to still force this? I mean, look at this, just 10 million Ostracons here at this stand cipher. I don't think they can really force this at all. Enchantress is gonna be trying to go to Big Bow to just stall time. Yeah, I mean, Ivy said he'd be making buildings in this damn cipher, you know? We are gonna be seeing here. Enchantress is a Big Bow, and I think right now their goal just to try and go for this 1 escape.
Yeah, they can. Mechanic still has self-heal, Enchantress still has self-heal, so we can definitely try to drag this out. Mechanic doesn't have borrowed time, though, so trying to pop the Cypher over here is not going to be an easy task, or even going for that Cypher pop probably wouldn't be the best course of action, because really the only thing you'll gain from that is giving Ivy detention. And that's not exactly what you want to do in this situation, but even so, yeah, this is... I would say we're probably looking at a very long 4K, but anything can happen. It looks like Mechanic actually is able to go for the Cypher pop here, and Enchantress with the stun, so we do have endgame. the question now, with the Yith already on Mechanic, main body on Enchantress, are we even going to be able to touch these gates?
Yeah, Blink is going to be coming up here, but this is actually still good news, at least from the side of this Enchantress. Seemingly, I think he's recognizing that he might be forced to share Enchantress because if he goes for the Mechanic could still bleed out. And I think right now he's just trying to stall time, trying to find this Mechanic out, but seemingly this Mechanic is hiding really well from the side of CH4 right now, not really opening the gate. He recognizes that he kind of needs to go for dungeon here to make this work.
Yeah, very good job hiding away from the... Oh, it looks like we actually did not catch sight of the Mechanic yet. Oh, but there we are. Yep, we're going to sniff her out just in the middle of these walls. And with that corruption, she is going to go down once again. Now, Enchantress does still have self-heal. Mechanic does not. She is very close to bleeding out. We are going to pop that self-heal on Enchantress. Doesn't quite look like we know where Dungeon is, unless we are going to make a run for it. It's going to be very, very close as we head closer to this bleed-out timer. Mushin may opt to chair Mechanic.
Yeah, I think right now he's just waiting for maybe his max presence to go online, but he doesn't actually realize the Mechanic's already crawled a bit of ways here away from the main body, but now gonna be able to get the pickup here. Enchantress, he needs to make a miracle happen here. I think this is still, I think maybe 30 seconds right now. He is gonna try to go for the max presence, but actually he is a bit far off there because of the elevation. So Enchantress, a chance to kite here. He cannot get scared, but I think he's gonna get scared at a terror shock. He secured a
Yeah, that's
4K
going to
here from the side of
GG's.
NBC.
Very well
Yeah,
played there. Yeah, it's
I
0
mean,
to CH4, NBZ 5 points for our first half of the round. And yeah, just what a first match to start us off. Really just showing the tenacity of these survivors, not giving up, just trying to drag it out to the last possible moment.
agreed. And also, like, Yushin really played amazingly here. I feel like he recognized where his win condition was, which is just make sure that Cypher does not get popped. And it was like really close. But then that fail coordinator gun, yeah, I think that really sealed the deal for the survivors' faith here with this 4K. And yeah, I mean, Yushin also just played that incredibly well just to get NBZ D5-0 lead here, which is just humongous, especially even in a BO3 setting, right? Just an amazing lead here because now there's just so little pressure now on NBZ survivors. And meanwhile, CH4's Hunter needs to replicate that 4K back.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. I mean, we've seen time and time again CH4, being faced with the 5K odds and going, okay, we're just gonna go for a tie, and then we'll see you again in round 3. So yeah, I would definitely I feel like that's almost my prediction. It's a big prediction, obviously, for the second half of the round to see another 4-man elimination, especially in kind of the state of the meta that we're in right now. We've been seeing less and less and less 4-man eliminations on the big competitive screen, but even so, it's never impossible, and especially in these early rounds with less survivor and less hunter bans, really anything is possible. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how CH4 and how Ling can answer to that beautiful first half from NBC.
Yeah, NBC survivors are no slack either, especially in times like this. As previously mentioned, I mean, they have a lot of experience as well. Like maybe not as much of that veteran experience as CH4, but they've been here for a while as well, as you've mentioned. So definitely not some people that you want to be slacking off. And yeah, I mean, pressure is on, especially since there's just so many ways for CH4, or sorry, for NBZ to kind of go for a tie composition. They could just run Embalmer or something. They can run Explore. Maybe they don't even need to run any of that. Just run an Audits effect and just Cypher Rush. Because we just saw in that match, I mean, for how bad that situation was, the survivors were very close to popping that last Cypher, and they actually managed to, right, a while ago. But in the end, like, I think all you need to note is just, Cypher Rush. That really is just the strategy of making sure that you get the tie, just Cypher Rush. Not that deep,
It's
to be
always
honest.
Always Cypher Rush. And I feel like that's definitely like the play with the mechanic. I almost wonder if we'll see a second mechanic pick here in round one. I almost wonder, because I feel like with the multiple global bans, maybe we'll hold out on like Embalmer, maybe even holding out on Mechanic from the side of MBZ survivors, and hold on to her for later rounds if we are, possibly preparing for a tied first round heading into a guaranteed round 3. But then again, there are so many opportunities here for NBZ survivors to keep up the momentum. So yeah, I'm very excited to see, maybe we'll go with some even more aggressive like harasser picks, something along those lines to kind of, when the baseline is you're going to tie the round, there's a lot more room for exploration.
Agreed. And I think you mentioned it very well. It's just like in the end here, I feel like NVZ has so much options that like you can kind of just go for anything as long as you can make sure that you can secure the tie or even something more than that, then it's going to be completely fine. All they need to make sure is they don't get the characters that they want to pick later down the line globally banned. I do think that Mechanic is still completely fine just because, for as much of a strong character she is, there's definitely multiple alternatives to her. And also, I think that in general, we have seen like mechanics pick rate, just like it has been a bit fluctuant, to be fair. Like we have seen some teams think that like mechanics still a strong character as she is. Some teams think that mechanics not as strong as she used to be, maybe just a bit too fragile. But seemingly for CH4, they respect the mechanic a hell ton. And they also respect the Evolver too, just does not want NVZ to go for the tie. But I mean, like NVZ can still play very conventional here. And so, yeah, I mean, CH4 just respecting the tie characters and not allowing them to just go for the tie.
Yeah. Oh, I love it when the first two bans from the Hunter side are also the first two picks from the Survivor side. It makes me laugh.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah, we
because
are
they
going to
had
see
that is
the
true.
Seer
I
and the
didn't even
Magician.
notice.
Yep. It always makes me laugh because it's like, yeah, we are in fact afraid of this exact pick for some reason that we're not going to disclose until the second half of the round. But yeah, we will see the first officer getting banned out now, not looking for a rescuer. First officer, I feel like, is kind of an interesting ban here. Yeah, we are going to see the Gravekeeper. I feel like if anything, I would have maybe been looking at Gravekeeper for that first ban again. But yeah, first officer is interesting here. Oh, we're
Yeah,
also going to see
because he
Aeroplanus
did.
take off the table.
Yeah, because with the first officer ban, like that kind of just means that this is probably not a peddler, which was still very much an angle that
Mm,
CH4 could have gone for. But yeah, I mean, with Gravekeeper now and now Professor too, I don't think peddler is much of a choice too much. I don't really like it as a choice regardless. And now
yeah.
Professor is the selection, albeit I guess looking back at it, CH4, I remember because I just remember like talking or seeing someone just say that I don't think Peddler is meta. Like I just remember reading like a message like that. I'm like, where are you getting this? Why do you not think Peddler isn't meta?
It's okay. Peddler's not meta.
Like,
She's just been played like 9 million times in both IVL and
you
IJL
know,
in the past few weeks. That
yeah,
doesn't make a
like,
hunter
come on,
meta.
guys. But like, like I was surprised that they did not maybe consider that angle. I feel like with the first officer and arrow band, maybe it could be an Ivy as well from the side of Ling here, perhaps, because it does seem as if those are characters that Ivy could struggle with. I do think that Seer and Magician aren't really too problematic either, but seemingly
Oh.
it's gonna be the Hullabaloo.
Now I'm even more questioning the first officer ban over Gravekeeper.
I mean, Gravekeeper can give additional presence, and
That's true, yeah.
I don't really think it's too much of a big deal. I don't really think there's too much differences there. Also, like I think you can catch the Gravekeeper lacking a lot more. with like
Mm.
the Pyrotechnus Ball. You
Oh,
can
that is
also
true.
just
Yeah, you could cancel the
like
shovel.
yeah, and it's also easier to like cut him off as he needs to kind of use the jump mechanic just to make sure that he doesn't, which is totally fine actually from the side of this Hullabaloo. And so I feel like it totally makes sense. Like I wouldn't say the first officer is like the most optimal ban per se. Like I was thinking this may be an Ivy, but it's not necessarily a bad ban by any means as well. And you know, I am a bit more curious. Like, I mean, this composition, neither strong nor weak against Hullabaloo, definitely ways to deal with it, as we are going to be seeing. Um, right, something like Professor has like can still use the scales very much to just like remove the balls pretty much when like just
Mhm.
act as like extra body block. Here, Here's really good at farming owls against Hullabaloo, funnily enough. A magician
Oh
is
yeah.
okay, I guess. He's just there, kind of just exists.
Yeah, I feel like if anything, Magician is the pick that that's the spare pick where we're going to pick better things later, but we needed an extra survivor to lock out immediately. And it's not like Magician is bad in any means. He's definitely, especially since the buffs to his decoy, he has been very, very good. But yeah, I guess we'll just see how he can stand up against this Hullabaloo heading into the second half of round one. Once again, I am Bones, joined by S'mores. And best of luck to both teams, with NBZ survivors needing to get at least a one-man escape in order to win the round. CH4 needs a four-man elimination in order to tie.
Yeah, pressure is very much on. Gonna be knocking at the door here. And so I wonder, I still really vibe with that animation to be honest. But yeah, it seems if I believe this is the seer now actually being chased, but no, he's
Ooh.
maybe eyeing perhaps on is that the Gravekeeper? So yeah, I guess we're seeing why maybe he banned the first officer because he may want to actually get rid of one of the tide turners, and it's very possible for him to just simply chase the Gravekeeper, who seemingly his plan is to go in a corner here and take that shovel.
Yeah, just trying to draw Hullabaloo out of the way of all of those Cypher machines. Definitely a good plan. But we have seen that first shovel coming out here. We already have the Mud Ball on Gravekeeper. So we'll see if we end up... Looks like right now we're just trying to set up the area, kind of breaking those pallets, clearing things up. And Gravekeeper is going to transition over here. It's going to be just kind of decision making of whether to take the hit now or wait for the Gravekeeper to pop out of the shovel. It looks like, nope, we are going to wait. And oh, mistiming on that scale.
Wait, is this
Wait, why do we have
Hullabaloo
Blink
on
on
Blink?
Hullabaloo? Yeah, I just noticed at the same time. I'm like, what are we blinking?
Yo, wait, hold on.
You know what? Maybe
Sorry,
maybe Link's cooking. Maybe Link's cooking.
yeah, I mean he can blink.
Okay, yeah, there we go. There we go. That's where Blink on Hullabaloo can work.
Whoa, hold on.
It's unexpected,
I
but
there is so many tricks to talk about. 3-6 Hulla with fast pallet breaking and blink. I mean, I was gonna mention that he like had 3-6, but then I noticed the blink and I'm like, wait a moment. But he is gonna manage to surprisingly get the down. I wouldn't say fast, but it's not necessarily bad. And now I think he's gonna get a hit on the magician here. Gravekeeper does have a shovel to use, but this Pyrotechnus Ball might provide problems unless Ling actually misses that double surprise here.
yeah, and looks like yep, we are able to get back into that shovel, looking for the second hit. I don't think Link can really afford to wait out the second shovel. I think he does have to take this hit. Yep, we are going to go ahead and take the hit. Looking for possibly another double surprise. Oh, and the owl is active. Yep, we are going to see that Seer Owl coming in for support, but the double surprise does go through here, so Gravekeeper down once again. Well, already we've started on those last two ciphers.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually pretty decent from the side of the survivors because I mean he already kited past tide, so doesn't have to concern himself too much here. Now he is going to be able to pressure rather the cipher here of the seer, and so at least they're going to be able to stop this decoding just a bit. But this professor very much ready to maybe go for a rescue here. But seer still trying to force the cipher, and now seemingly the professor does have a chance here to go for the rescue. He does manage to just remove the balls there with the scale, and now he needs to down this gravekeeper as soon as possible.
Yep, and we do have Professor in just trying to run support here, body block as much as he can. Oh, unfortunately, yeah, Gravekeeper is going to go down. Cypher's still at around the 65 mark, so we will be seeing our first elimination of the match. But with that being nearly primed, I feel like we're looking at more of a tie situation at best here, which is not what CH4 is looking for. But wow, very quick down on the Seer here. Maybe that's turned things around a bit as we head into the priming of that Cypher.
Yeah, and he actually goes for the TP here, so now maybe a chance perhaps because the Cypher is still at 93%, and this Magician doesn't have a borrowed time either, so he's going to be able to maybe get the down, but this Magician doing God's work right now. We do see stuff like Ling kind of getting a bit confused there, but he's going to get the down finally on this Magician. They are going to be getting the rescue here, but he's going to be chairing near this Cypher, so I do think perhaps some problems here from the survivors because both survivors are injured. Seemingly, they aren't even going to be trying to go for the heal. We also have Professor at 12-9, no borrowed time, and this double surprise going to be giving Vision here. The question is, does he recognize that maybe they're going for a backdoor with the Seer here? We are going to be seeing, yeah.
Sorry, I think my Wi-Fi like cut out for a minute.
It's gameplay so good, the Wi-Fi just died.
Oh, yeah, there we go with the scale.
Yeah, and Seer actually, amazing dodge here from Seer. And now, I don't know if chasing Seer was the best idea, but the owl too. The Seer is doing amazing right now, and this, what do you call this? This Cypher is gonna pop actually, and now, I mean, double surprise is active. He can go for it. He does manage to, I think, get the mud ball right before Vault, and now it's gonna be a down on Seer's end. Problem is, Seer is not dead on Chariot, and he can go for the TP, but I believe that Magician has already positioned himself to try and go for the rescue, and not only that, Professor very much has the scales available to use, and he does manage to bait this scale there, but the flywheel from the side of this Professor, amazing stuff right now, and we are going to see eventually a down here from the side of Ling, but now they're going to be playing. I think they just want to try to maybe go for a single escape with the way they have positioned themselves. But if Ling is going to try to go for this other survivor, it's very possible they can go for maybe a tie or, you know, win opportunity. But seems as if I believe this is the Magician getting caught, so maybe a single escape here from the side of the survivors.
Yeah, I think we're definitely looking at a one escape now. Magician being stuck in this area. Dungeon, however, is in the area, but he still has Flywheel. Just used his last decoy. Oh wait, Seer with the owl support. Nicely done on the
Seer doesn't have Seer with the owl
wait,
support.
Does he not have an owl?
Has no owls.
No, he doesn't have an owl. He was just watching. He was just watching for fun.
No, I didn't know you could farm owls through other people's POV, but now it seems as if Professor is going to be trying to rush the gate, but unfortunately, it just maybe way too far here. Does have a scale to use, no more flywheel available, but the tension's running out, albeit this is an injured Professor, so it doesn't really matter too much. Professor is going to get that pallet down, and now he has options here to either try and go for the dungeon here, but seemingly scale's not going to be working out for him. It's going to be a one escape rather from the side of NBZ, but actually that is more than enough to secure them the first round win.
Yup, so we're looking at NBZ with 6 points to CH4 with 3 points at the end of the first round. NBZ in the lead based on rounds. But yeah, right at the end there, I think that the Pyrotechnist Sage just lasted a little bit too long, and he wasn't able to get that scale up in time when the black kind of came around to smack him. So yeah, just a little bit unfortunate there in the end game. I think if he had maybe run straight towards the dungeon instead of going for that like kind of partially to the gate and then not actually to the gate, but a little bit to the gate, if he had been like right on top of the dungeon, I think that might have worked out better. But even then, there was just too much time between that and Magician dying. But a one escape is a one escape, and that one escape was exactly what MBZ needed in order to secure the round for them. So, yeah, very, very well played.
Yeah, I mean, shout out Link, Tresic, Blink Hullabaloo, and you
Blink,
get a
I don't think I've
3K. I
seen
mean,
Blink Hullabaloo.
like, goddamn, I didn't know you had game like that. God, like,
I
I was
Blink
like,
Hullabaloo.
Blink Hullabaloo, Tresic, no
Anything can
insolence. Like,
happen. Anything can happen in tournament.
who was writing this script down? This was like insanity. But like, you know what? 3K, like even though yeah, CH4 is still like kind of, having to catch up, you know, Ling getting a 3K here isn't fully a bad thing. That just means the point deficits here are not as bad. All they have to do is to ensure that they at least get a single round win, maybe before heading into round 3, because I think there's going to be just too much pressure by that point. But at least just make sure that maybe try to get the round win here in round 2, moving forward. But for NBZ, I mean, right now they're a bit comfortable. Maybe this point differential is not something you want to be too comfortable at, but this is still a lead regardless for NBZ.
Yeah, it's definitely heading into round 2, I feel like MBZ's goal will be to sort of enlarge that gap and try to aim for a survivor tie or a survivor win, aim for another 4K from their hunter. And looking to close this out in 2 rounds is definitely, I would say, on their table right now. And CH4, on the other hand, I would say maybe we will see a more I don't know well, not that their comp or their survivor comp in round 1 was like not stable. But I feel like maybe if we get some more Cypher Rush on the table, and if we're able to sort of keep up that containment a little bit longer, because Antiquarian just kind of got stuck immediately. But yeah, just being able to heading into round 2 with kind of that fresh mindset, I think will definitely benefit for CH4.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think for NBZ, right? I feel like not only is winning in 2 rounds like on the table, I do think it's recommended because again, that point deficit is not large. I feel like if you let them tie even round 2, right? I feel like there's a good chance, right? Maybe that they could still win round 3. Like it's not something that's necessarily, far away for the CH4 to get, albeit I do think that they need to get the 4K at least in order to, get those deficits up. So as long as truthfully for NBZ, as long as they don't get 4K, things are fine. And considering that, but I do think like also like 3-6 Blink Hulla, man. Like we getting 3K from 3-6 Blink Hulla, I definitely be a bit concerned if I were NBZ because like that is the one and only time I might be seeing 3-6 Blink Hulla. And I was very shocked to see how that really strong kite actually from NBC, right, turned into an eventual loss, which is kind of just poor positioning there from the side of the Gravekeeper, getting chaired near that last cipher, and then the Seer kind of just dying almost immediately.
Yeah, I feel like it's also the unexpectedness of that blink. Because I mean, who is going to expect Blink Hullabaloo? Nobody's going to expect Blink Hullabaloo. And
I think my average Elk Rambins will be expecting Blink Hullabaloo.
No, that is true actually. Where I've been in matches, me and my low rank because I don't have time to rank. And I've been in matches where it'll be a Hullabaloo and somebody pings like Blink is off cooldown, and I'm like, why are we pinging this at all? I don't need to know that.
I mean, I remember being in like a custom match like with a bunch of friends, and we were, calming in the VC, and someone said Blink ready. It was against Hullabaloo, so I was like, what do you mean Blink ready? Hold on. I was like, wait,
and then
wait,
you get blinked on by Hullabaloo.
Oh no, so maybe Blink Public Blue does exist. I sincerely apologize to that person that I was saying, I wouldn't say mean things, but I was saying, like, what are you saying? Like, after the match because of that. But, we are going to be seeing, as we now finally head round to first half, Leo's Memory. And I don't know, man, this map has always been so interesting to me because I feel like this this is one of my favorite maps, but it's also one of the most cursed maps sometimes.
See, I like Leo's Memory, but that's because I'm a Lizard main, and so 90% of the structures on Leo's Memory are just like a playground to me, and not. I play any other hunter, and I'm like, okay, now I understand why people don't like this map. But for Lizard, it's always fun. I will not manifest the Lizard here because I feel like that is just way too risky of a pick right now. And if we're looking for the four-man, three-man eliminations, Lizard is not really your friend in that case.
Yeah.
But I feel like if we do end up with a tie on either half of the round, maybe we could see a Lizard. I'll play around with that.
Yeah, and speaking of Lizard, shout out to someone who is watching the stream who literally messaged me. Is that you commentating on LO? Lizard main Paper Wings. Shout out, bro. Like
Oh my
I
god,
was
Paper
like,
Wings.
Paper Wings. Brother, we were on the same team. How do you not know how I sound like? God damn.
I've been on my Lizard vacation for a while now, actually.
Yeah.
Hunter ranking is scary. I don't have time.
Hunter ranking is scary. I feel like everyone could resonate with that message.
Yo,
It does sound like
I go
like
into Hunter rank these days, and I I go into Hunter rank and I go, okay, surely I will win. Surely I will go into this with a tie. And then I blink and we're at one cipher remaining, and I go, what? Where did that happen? What do you mean you guys are
I'm gonna be-
decoding? Stop
I'm
popping
gonna be
ciphers when I'm not
so-
chasing you.
I'm gonna be so excited once they release the new patch notes and Perfumer becomes a brain dead character.
No.
It's so funny because like you say like you blink and then there's one cipher left. Listen, I blink, there's 5 ciphers left, and then not 3 minutes. Like 3 seconds later, like they just all start popping one by one, and I just realized I got
Yup.
audience effect in the middle of a rank match, and I'm like, what do you in
Yup,
the
that's
middle
exactly.
of rank?
I'm like, what do you
Like,
mean you guys know what
what?
you're doing? The survivors, when I'm hunting, the survivors aren't supposed to know what they're doing.
But yeah, I mean, like pause, man. Like, I don't know. I don't know why. Like, it's like watching Japanese players rank, and I'm like doing audience effect. I'm like, brother, rank. It's rank. How are you communicating this? Like, it's like, do you just know? Like,
Yeah.
And this is like just additional audience effect propaganda. If you think it's comms that are an issue, be quiet. People in rank are doing it, and I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it. All right, so it's
People
not
in rank are
comms,
doing
guys.
it. People in quick match are doing it. It's everywhere. People in comp are doing it. The amount of times I'm so behind on like competitive, but I was watching IJL briefly last night, and then it got paused for an hour. But I was watching IJL last
Yep,
night, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, wow, audience effect, audience effect, audience effect, audience effect.
That
It's
1 hour
crazy
delay,
out
I'm
there.
sure. Yeah, if there was a 1 hour delay, I think it's because of the audience effect.
It was a
But-
1 hour delay because Chicken just stopped moving.
Yeah, I think
Like
I
the
also saw
cipher
that.
popped and he just froze. And then they
That
cut
was-
it, and then
I think-
we
I
got an
think there
hour
was
of
like a-
trailers.
There was like an elbow pad right before that
Yeah.
happened. We're like, bro, he's cooked. But
It was like
the
the world's worst endgame.
Yeah, I am, just basically promoting audience effect to all of our audiences watching today. As you can see, it's Archer
Hello, audience.
and
Do you know what kind of effect
Van.
you can have?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Um. Anyways, we're gonna be seeing Seer and Archer are the bans, and so is Goatman here, which just does make a lot of sense. Archer ban does make me think that this could very much just be an opera singer, considering that Antiquarian isn't available either. And I think that's the problem with picking Antiquarian so early. Now we just don't have it at all this entire match. And I feel like CH4 gave up so many good characters, and they're going to be picking Escapologist and Explorer, which, to be fair, aren't really that strong characters here. They're a bit more niche nowadays. But yeah, I mean, CH4, I guess the problem right now is like they just given up way too many good characters, as we do see Novelist is the third ban.
Yeah, I definitely I feel like they kind of played right into NBZ's hands with those picks in the first round because yeah, like like you were saying, kind of just all of those very very strong character picks just immediately into the globals. And yeah, now we are kind of looking at that opera singer. I'm very excited to see Escapologist here though, because I feel like he's one of those characters who is just so strong in a 4-man VC. And oh, we're gonna go with Prisoner as well to kind of round out that Cypher Rush. Prisoner and Explorer. Explorer on this map in general is just such a menace. This is we were talking about that Cypher Rush capability, and this is a team that is going to Cypher Rush to absolute hell.
Yeah, I think he can go opera singer here, but also Peddler very much an available option for him too. Because I mean, like I'm just a bit surprised. CH4 they haven't really picked a conventional rescuer at this point. Like I guess Escapologist, you can make an argument, is a conventional rescuer, especially since some teams are picking him up. But like it's a bit interesting because like none of them got like this is also kind of something that we were seeing with other teams, which felt like we saw some teams just not pick rescuers in the first round, and then somehow just you'd think that maybe they'd pick the rescuers later down the line, but apparently no, they just don't like playing rescuers. So I don't really know why that's the case, but like CH4 with such a fragile comp here, Explorer, Prisoner. I mean, this is like screaming like opera singer maybe from the side of the survivors, but also like so many other options. But we're gonna be seeing signature Geisha here from the side of NBZ. We do know for a fact Mushin, very much a well-renowned Geisha man. I think he's almost always number one every time, like every season, every week, every time. I'm not entirely sure if that's the case now. But yeah, I mean, even if he isn't number one on the leaderboard, I mean, like he will always be considered the best Geisha right now in NAE. I feel like it kind of goes a long shot. He's always played this character. I think dating back maybe all the way to like I don't even remember. Like I feel like he's been playing this for so long. That's how OG his Geisha has been. And all I have to say is for CH4, I'd be goddamn scared because it's Geisha. It's Yushin Geisha. You know? Like that is one pocket pick if we have seen one. And it doesn't help that they've put Cheerleader at middle, who yeah, does have items to maybe deal with Geisha, but with how mobile Geisha is with her dashes, I mean, does it really matter? Like, I mean, he could try to go two-story here, but that also means interrupting the prisoner, so they need to rotate prisoner early as well. And I'm just, he could kind of just go for his cheerleader here if he really wants to, but round two, first half here, I think a lot of pressure on CH4 right now, but a chance for them to maybe try and make miracles happen. However, it's going to be Mushin Geisha hoping to give them multiple problems here. Also, hello, welcome back. You missed out on Mushin Geisha.
Well, I haven't missed out on Mushin Geisha. Yeah, we're about to get right into her.
That is true.
Always a treat. Always a very, very scary thing to be on the receiving end of. But CH4, they're going to have their work cut out for them. It's like we're putting pressure on this cheerleader, but not quite going to take that bait yet. It seems we're looking to find where the prisoner is rotated to, but he has done a very good job of just getting out of sight and out of mind immediately. Unless it looks like we have picked up his tinnitus here.
Yeah, seemingly not out of sight, out of mind just yet here. Also, Prisoner 6-9. Hold on. I swear the builds have been getting crazy and crazier as we get into this. I do see
Tied
here.
prisoner.
Oh yeah, Escapologist 3-9 as well. I mean, like everyone but the rescuer brought tied here, but seemingly Cheerleader is going to be the first chase right now, and he actually might not even need to dash
Ooh.
just yet. But amazing item usage here from the side of this Cheerleader. I like to call that item. But we are going to be seeing here it's going to be Cheerleader going to be able to make it to this pallet as well.
Ooh, losing the pallet mind game as well. So we are going to get our first basic hit. Ciphers are on the move. Prisoner obviously unattended, and actually the Ciphers are looking really good considering we have an Explorer on the team. But I think he is decoding before he goes for those pages. But oh, and a Terror Shock on the Cheerleader, not quite able to get over that pallet in time. So she will be going down here, but very good rotation to waste a lot of time on the Survivor side, able to get pretty good progress on those Ciphers early on.
Yeah, and I think now Explorer is going to be going for the rescue, so seemingly you're taking the rescuer duties away from the no-tide escapologist here, as we are going to be seeing. I mean, these ciphers look pretty solid, especially against Mushin, who, again, pocket pick Geisha. It's always been something that he's been so good at. However, he is going to be seeing where this Explorer is, so the question is, can he get the rescue? But unfortunately,
Oh no!
holy smokes, what a play for
That's Mushin
Mushin.
Geisha.
God,
That's Mushin
I
Geisha
mean,
for
that
you.
that is heck you do not see from just someone who plays Geisha casually. So now, again, no tide escapologist forced to go for the rescue here. And Cheerleader needs to basically make things happen here if he wants to, give a chance for the Survivor team. I do think it's very possible he is going to get the dash, but a bit too short. So Cheerleader very much going to be able to just simply use that item here. Now this pallet mind game unsuccessful from the side of Mushin. Pallet mind game once again, but does manage to win with that dash. So Cheerleader is going to be out of the matter, but I do think they're going to be able to at least maybe get the heal. But actually, no, they're decoding, but I think Mushin might be aware of their positions right now.
Yup, just immediately going to change targets over to that Cipher. We do have the prisoner connection on it, but it looks like we are going to be heading back onto Escapologist here. Yup, that is Escapologist. So we do have both decoders up and ready. I'm going to use the smoke bomb, unfortunately, not really going to be able to get anywhere. And out of sight of the Geisha. Explorer does have about 40% pages. Yup, working on clearing that. And full health prisoner. Now we do have Tide Turner on the prisoner, so that could definitely help. But oh, Explorer is actually right here. That's a little risky.
Yeah, and now he's actually gonna get dashed right through. And since Explorer's also like already had share time, I mean, he could actually just pivot to this Explorer instead and share him. And he could even have shared in his old in the Escapologist's old chair because the Escapologist moved himself away. But seemingly he's going to be chairing at where Prisoner was initially decoding before this. That does mean that I think we're going to be able to just pop the Cipher here at the shack, which is good news for the survivors. But the bad news is the Prisoner has actually gotten caught a bit early here. And it does seem as if I don't really think the rescue is very possible here because he is going to be immediately taking a hit, but dash very much available, but just a TP, and he's going to be able to get the down on the Prisoner. So while Escapologist does manage to pop the Cipher, Prisoner had just gone down, and unfortunately, final deduction not going to do much because, well, it isn't activated just yet.
I think it's up. Yeah. Final
now it
deduction is
is.
up, but it just doesn't do anything anymore. Other than make
Yeah,
survivors
I mean-
bleed out faster.
Yeah, and it would have been better if like Prisoner had died
Ooh.
like during final deduction.
Well,
But what could have been maybe better there is Escapologist not vaulting in front of the Hunter, so unfortunately, this may just be a 4K Prisoner is very much inches, or maybe even less than inches away from the chair here, and Escapologist gonna get chaired in this factory and that's gonna be a 4K
Yo.
and NBZ.
That was,
Yo,
when we said that we were gearing up for Mushin Geisha, that is exactly what we meant. That was just,
yeah,
that was just
God,
textbook. The
yeah, man.
Mushin's Geisha just has so much control. It is terrifying to watch, and it's something that I pray that I'm
Yeah,
never on the receiving end of.
listen, all available if Escapologist had tied. All I'm saying, all I'm saying.
That was the like craziest part of it. Bringing
But
Tide on
yeah, I
everybody
mean,
except for the rescuer.
yeah, I just felt like there was a lot of risk that CH4 took. I mean, two decoders, not really a conventional rescuer by any means, a cheerleader, even though, opera singer was still in the cards, and well, also Mushin, like, I guess Mushin Geisha special. To be fair, the cheerleader wasn't really a problem.
Yeah. It's one of those situations where, like, even with the rotation, I feel like just giving cheerleader Tide in the first place and then putting her in the middle was just such a, like, baffling choice to me, because if she's going to take that first chase, and if you're going to have her running around in the area to kind of distract from the prisoner, then Tide Turner, you can't really make any utilization of that. So yeah, just a little bit unfortunate there for CH4 survivors, and we are going to look at a second 0-5 first half of the round. But I think I've actually seen at least a few times Ling kind of coming out for blood on Leo's memory in particular. So I'm very excited to see, if we could see opera singer, gamekeeper on the table, really just, Goatman if he doesn't get banned, which he will probably get banned. But yeah, really just there is still opportunity to tie the round here for CH4. So yeah, it's not quite this the situation that CH4 is looking for in here, because obviously when you're already behind, you do want to be able to make up for those points and try to win a round. We were saying before that CH4 does want to go for a win here, but best case scenario here, looking for that tie, and just really doing as much as they can. But NBZ, has such a strong lead coming into the second half. And the energy, I feel like, is going to be the most important thing coming in here, because coming into a losing deficit here for CH4, it's not the most encouraging situation to be in, especially when it's your hunter up, so you're depending on one member of your team, versus NBZ, being able to kind of distribute that stress around four members. I would say puts them at a bit of an advantage as well. But heading into the second half here, it's really going to come down to whether Ling can, kind of take that control and that energy from the first half and place it here and kind of go for that 4-man elimination. Because we did see, Blink Hullabaloo is crazy. Blink Hullabaloo is probably one of the most unconventional persona traits that I've seen in my time watching and commentating for comp, but he able to get a 3-man elimination, even if it wasn't a 4-man elimination, that is still very, very well done. But we do have our first 2 bans, and also S'mores back from the dead. Yeah, getting the mechanic and the embalmer off the table, and we're going to see Ivy as our hunter ban here.
Sorry, guys. I just had like a nightmare where, they ran 2 decoders and a rescuer, and then they put the high turners on the decoders. But, I mean, God, hold on. Sorry, I just came back and I see Doctor in
Yep.
this day and age. God
Yep.
damn. I mean,
They're preparing for her buff.
that is. They're ready for when Doctor becomes meta. I was just saying it right now. Doctor's becoming meta. All right, but we are gonna be
It's
saying,
true.
first officer is banned. Puppeteer gonna be selected, and we got common Griffin ban Knight is gonna get banned here last. And we are, I mean, like, this composition has been
Ooh.
odd to say the least, but it's journalist also just additionally making it odd. To be fair, with
It's
two
giving me rank
rescuers banned,
flashbacks.
and yeah, I mean, it's gonna be the most ranked thing I've seen, like Doctor, goddamn,
Doctor,
I
Archer, Puppeteer.
thought we were watching some random Happy Bud match. Number 1472 Doctor here, like, that would have been great. But yeah, I mean, like, to be fair, like, two rescuers, the first officer and knight were already banned, plus Gravekeeper was banned. I mean, maybe they could have went for Wildling if they wanted to, but like Goldman's also still available, so it's like not really something maybe they were comfortable with. I do think that for as weird as this comp is, it actually just makes a lot of sense. Archer and Puppeteer are amazing counters against Opera Singer, and they're also really good in that Goldman matchup. Doctor is weird, but this is Leo's memory. You can always put him at Factory. And Journalist may not be the
Ah.
strongest rescuer, but he does do pretty decent against the opera singer, but seemingly that doesn't really matter because Bonbon's actually
Yeah.
going to be the hunter here. And all I'll say is that does make a lot of sense as a pick here. I mean, Doctor does get speed boost now from chip damage, but I think the two things here to note is, well, Puppeteer is very weak against chip hunters in general, and Journalists could very much still fail rescues against a Bonbon.
Mhm. Yeah, I think the main thing that they're going to need to keep in mind is not the main thing, I guess, for Doctor as well, is that not being able to stand still, not being able to really find comfortable places to heal with the bombs going off. It is going to be, I would say, fairly difficult for these survivors. But even so, I feel like Cypher Rush is definitely their friend. They don't have. I mean, I don't think Journalist only gets a decoding debuff once her the Orpheus have gotten murdered. But I don't think any of the other because Archer doesn't have a decoding debuff even though she should, right?
I actually am not
Or
sure.
she
All
has
I'm
like
saying is you Orpheus murdered is a very vulgar term.
well, okay, I usually say journalist has babies. So it could be worse. It could be a worse sentence.
That doesn't make it better.
It doesn't,
That
I know.
the additional context really did not make.
But I'm very excited to see Journalist here because I feel like she can be a strong rescue. She just needs to be able to get the timing on the rescue Orphe, and
Agreed.
not get mega stuffed. But yeah, we're heading into the second half of round 2, CH4 versus NBC, and CH4 needs that 4-man elimination if we want to see a round 3. So the pressure has not been higher here in the semifinals as of yet, but I am Bones, joined by S'mores, and we're looking at possibly the last round of this matchup.
Ling, I mean, the pressure is on. It seems as if I think that is actually Archer he's going to, so very interesting choice not going for the Doctor. Actually, it's also much more interesting. None of them have what do you call, I think they almost all have like flywheel here except for the Puppeteer. We do see first bomb is gonna be put out, Zeta Division accessory there as well. But now this chip is going to be very important, but unfortunate miss there. And I think he's going to be able to get 100 unless he misses, which is exactly what happens.
Yeah, very crucial miss there. We are going to see Archer with that first hit. Cyphers are on the way. But heading up to the second story here, we do still have one keelbow and one of the crossbows left to use. And we're going to see Warp as well. Archer stuck in a corner here looking for the flywheel, but unfortunately not able to get it off, and she will be going down very early on. Very good start for Bonbon here.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why he picked up and decided not to wait for the, for the Archer, I actually forgot what it's called, to like get removed, but I mean, seems as if he's still gonna get the chair regardless. And now, Journalist rescue duties are on her. It does seem as if he is going to be putting 3 bombs on the chair. Does not seem to be aware so far of this Journalist's position.
Yeah, Journalist coming in from the outside, still out of sight. but still out of sight, actually. Has not quite picked up on her presence here. We are going to see the Orphe is going to get stuffed, and Journalist does get that rescue off. We do have Tide Turner in action, but Archer immediately is going to take damage, so she will be going down after Tide Turner. We do have Puppeteer has Tide, so if we do want to come in for the second rescue there, but I feel like it's optional here to go for the second rescue, especially against Bonbon. You don't really want to feed him that last bit of presence. And yeah, he is
Yeah.
still just one chip away from that full presence, so I would say selling here might be a good option.
Yeah, especially since their other rescuer or other Tide Turner is the Puppeteer, and we just previously mentioned that he does have a lot of problems, especially in this matchup against Bonbon. So I think it's just better, yeah, to just rotate away, just start decoding new ciphers here and start to just try and go for the tie because that's all they need. And well, Bonbon here is Mr. Short Legs after all, so he's not really gonna be able to, get a next chase early unless he actually switches to the TP, which he is gonna do right now, and it's the Journalist who already does have chip damage available. Does seem as if he's not gonna get it just yet here, and now this mine is gonna be important, but Journalist didn't fold under pressure. I actually did not realize his chip got healed a while ago, but seemingly
Yeah,
it does
that's
seem
the
as
thing
if
with the Doctor.
yeah, God, this Doctor might actually be broken, but Journalist is already injured after that bomb. I think that was just a single bomb connected, and oh my God, amazing stuff here from Ling. He is just one more short of a bomb here and seemingly unable to get the
Wow.
bombs there, but at least manages to get the normal attack. And good news for the survivors, there are 3 ciphers remaining and all of them in relatively good progress. Not only that, can't even chair near this Doctor, and he could pressure for as long as he liked, but even a single chip on this Doctor doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, we might go for the basic hit here. Yep, going to go for the basic hit. Puppeteer is going in for the rescue. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a free rescue for Puppeteer, which is a little
Yeah,
bit
and
unfortunate, but keeping the Doctor off the ciphers, I think, is the main goal.
yeah, and funnily enough, I mean, the what do you call this Doctor is just gonna be healing off that damage that he took, and I feel like that is the strong part about Doctor, is that you can't really pressure her unless you fully down her. And that is
Yeah.
kind of something that we are seeing right now, as Doctor actually hasn't even shielded up the chip away. I think he just recognizes that Link can't really do anything about this Doctor, and now he does recognize that the cipher here does have some progress, but they've already worked on another cipher, which was at Shag, and they can even just consider popping here if they want to. After all they need is a single escape, but seemingly Puppeteer is going to be heading towards this chair.
Yeah, getting that rescue in. Oh, and we're going to pop before that Journalist goes down because she does have no borrowed time. Doesn't really make a difference. She will be sent off here. No survivors at the gate quite yet. We do have Teleport online. And eyes
The thing
on
is-
Puppeteer.
The thing is, he needs to down this immediately, because the only way for him to actually win this game is to be able to down this Puppeteer, then go for the TP, because if he TPs now, I mean, this Puppeteer is going to
Puppeteer just
decode
opens
this
the gate.
gate. But I mean, this
Yeah.
Puppeteer, under no pressure at all for the side of NBZ, they're going to be able to open the gate and actually wait
Oh,
a
in the
minute.
dungeon
This
as well.
Puppeteer
Wow.
is going to get the dungeon. Wow. Yeah.
Yup, and that is a tie, which means that NBZ is our winner tonight. We'll be heading into the finals. So yeah, very well
Yes.
played by both teams. Beautiful, beautiful gameplay here, and just so much fun. Such fun to
Such fun.
commentate for.
Yeah, I mean, many things happened. That's- listen, we saw Blink Hullabaloo, we saw amazing Ivy gameplay, we saw, some questionable traits, we saw a Doctor. I mean, there are many things to talk about this match, but one thing's for sure, NBZ played amazing today. For as weird as some of their strats might have been, and for how they were out there kind of losing to a Blink Hullabaloo, They still played amazingly, and they still like just Yushin, just basically MVP of this match. Two 4Ks that signature geisha, really showing why it's signature, and
Mhm.
honestly, just good stuff from Yushin. I mean, I was really impressed with the way he's played today.
Yeah, just so much fun, and really, really impressive. We will be seeing NBZ in our finals, and tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST, we will. I'm trying to find the schedule here so that I am not saying the wrong things. There we go. So yeah, tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST, 3 p.m. PST starting time, we will have Omni versus ELV. So that's definitely going to be a matchup that you don't want to miss.
Mm,
We will
Yeah.
have Juliet and Zero are going to be commentating for that. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a really fun matchup.
Mhm.
Don't miss it. We will
Shout out KSI fan zero here.
Oh,
You know, but yeah, also, I mean, if you guys are big Audience Effect fans, I mean, Omni has been doing it, so
that is
just
true.
spreading the sorry, not Omni propaganda, but rather the well, what's the term? Audience Effect propaganda
Audience
here,
effect.
if ever.
Yeah.
But I mean, just going back, I mean, I feel like both teams played well. It's just like there was just like mistakes here. I mean, that Bonbon match was looking pretty solid. Um, it is unfortunate because he couldn't get the stuff on journalists, but yeah, I mean, it is kind of what it is, and he did try his best to make do with the situation, but at the end, that is going to be game for CH4 and FBZ again. Just good stuff here for the day. Um, really think they played amazing. That's all I can really say about them. And we saw a lot of interesting stuff today, to say the least. But
Yeah, it was
in the
fun
end,
as always.
fun as always. I mean, Blink Hullabaloo. I did not expect to commentate that. Okay.
But yeah, no, it was very, very fun to commentate again. Thank you to Logging Off for having me, and thank you to S'mores for being such a great co-commentator. I had so much fun today. Um,
Thank you as well.
and yeah,
All right,
but
but yeah, I think
yeah, stay tuned tomorrow
we're
for more matchups. I think that's all from us today.
yeah, and thank you once again for joining us tonight here at Logging Off. This is S'mores alongside. Do I call you Bone? I call you Bones.
Bones, yeah, I'm Bones.
Bones. Yeah, Bones signing up. I feel like you never like I think I always I'm so sorry, I'm so bad with names. But yeah, this is Bones and
It's okay.
S'mores signing off here. Thank you so much for having us tonight, and hopefully we see you guys tomorrow.